Namaskar. In the post-centennial Golden Jubilee function of Pune Prarthana Samaj, I, Sapna Chaudhary, welcome you all. In the beginning, I invite you here, Srimati Dhanashri Ganatra, to render an invocation.
जळी स्थळी अंतराळी जळी स्थळी अंतराळी जो समपणे ठाकला ध्यानी धर एकला जाने रचले या विश्वाला आदि अंत नाही जाला जाने रचले या विश्वाला आदि अंत नाही जाला जो सर्वज्ञानी न जाणे कोणी तयाला ध्यानी धर एकला ध्यानी धर एकला ध्यानी धर एकला.
Thank you, Dhanashri. It was Marathi translation by Dr. Sushma Zo of original Bengal composition by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Now I request Sri Sanjay Chanda, President, Delhi Brahmo Samaj and President of 130th session of Brahmo Conference to conduct prayer to Almighty God.
Om Pitanosi Pitano Bodhi Namastestu Mama Hingsi Vishwani Deva Savitur Duritani Parasuba Yad Bhadrang Tanna Asuba Namaha Shambhavaya Cha Mayobhavaya Cha Namaha Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namaha Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. You are our Father, teach us true wisdom. We bend low in reverence before you. Save us from delusion and sin. Forsake us not, destroy us not. O God our Father, forgive us our trespasses and send us that which is good for us. You are the cause and the source of all goodness and happiness. You are goodness itself and more than good. We bow down to you. Yo Devagdo, Yo Apsu, Yo Vishambhavanamabhibesha, Yo Oshadheshu, Yo Vanaspateshu, Tasmai Devayo Namo Namaha. The deity who is in fire, who is in water, who pervades the universe, who is in the smallest of shrubs as much as in the tallest of trees, he is God, to him we offer our salutation. We celebrate today a very special occasion. It is the 150th anniversary of Pune Prathama Samaj. On this day, in the year 1870, a few public-spirited young men, led by Sri Chintamon Shakharam Chitnis, by the grace of God, founded the Samaj for the promotion of the pure spiritual worship of the one and only true God. They, and those who followed their footsteps, pledged to fight against prevailing malpractices in society, such as casteism and child marriage. They also pledged to bring in reforms in the society, promoting female education, widow remarriage, abolishing child marriage, etc. The movement attracted educated, high-principled young people who joined because the Samaj's ideals and principles appealed to them. It did not offer them name and fame, nor money and power. They were attracted by the concept of one and only all-knowing, all-pervading Supreme Spirit. They were attracted by the ethical discipline of the Samaj, its stress on moral character and truthfulness. They were attracted by the rejection of racist and casteist divisions in society. They were attracted by a Samaj that believed in serving fellow men, serving the society by reforming it to discard corrupt practices and superstitions. If we take a look at the orthodox conservative Hindu society of that era, we will realize that these were extremely difficult tasks, as they had to fight the powerful opposition to any idea of reform. The Samajis had to struggle and make many a sacrifice to be able to carry out their work. Their unflinching faith in God helped them to overcome all obstacles. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Anandarupamamritam Yad Vibhati Shantam Shivamadvaitam Shuddham Apapaviddham. God is infinite. He is the embodiment of truth and knowledge. He is immortal and is the source of all happiness. He is the symbol of peace and divinity. He is unique and pure. Parampita Parameshwar, today we express our gratefulness to you for your blessings and guidance, without which the Samaj would not have been able to carry on its good work for 1.5 centuries. Dear God, bless us so that we do not just celebrate the anniversary of the Samaj, but on this special occasion, pay our homage to the founding fathers, the pioneers, and also those who followed their footsteps and helped Pune Prarthana Samaj to continue serving the society. Let today be the day when we look back and take lessons from the lives of our predecessors, the high quality of their character, their love for you, dear God, for their dedication, their devotion, their wisdom and intellect, their love and sympathy for those less fortunate, those suffering and their kindness to help those who needed help. Dear God, please help us to make this occasion worthwhile by kindling in our hearts some of the great qualities that made these great men and women what they were. We humbly seek your blessing for that. Today is an occasion for celebration, celebrating the foundation of a church that had set standard for serving fellow men while treading the path of righteousness. It served the community and the society in general for as long as 150 years. This has been possible, dear Lord, only through your blessings. Today, on this happy occasion, we perceive you as the God of joy, Anandarupam. You are the God of joy. You are the Lord of love. You are joyful, and your entire creation is immersed in joy. We look at nature. Everything we look at seems to be radiating joy. Look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the clouds, look at the stars twinkling in the sky. Look at the stars twinkling in the sky. They all appear to be very happy. The trees dressed in green leaves seem to be announcing their happiness to the world. I have not seen anything happier than a flower in bloom. Let us emulate nature and join the happy world you have created. Let us not be overwhelmed by a phenomenon like the pandemic that is sweeping the earth now. Please help us to realize that all your actions are for some ultimate purpose, which we may not be always able to comprehend. As human beings, we have received from you the gift of intelligence. Thanks to that, we can guess why you subject us to trials and tribulations of life, just as our predecessors in the Prarthana Samaj had to struggle against and overcome. They are meant to train us, discipline us, and also to test us for our ability to traverse the path towards you. Like steel has to be heated and tempered to give it strength, you let us pass through fire to gain necessary strength of character. Bless us, dear God, so that nothing can shake our trust in you. My Lord, saying your name soothes our hearts. Chanting your name saves the sinner. Singing your name brings solace to the heart of the bereaved. Saying your name is the only way to achieve peace of mind, the only path to salvation. Bless us, dear God, and help us to be good human beings. Let our nature be generous, our conscience be clear, and our soul in peace. Bless us so that we learn from the lives of great men and try to follow the qualities that made them great. Bless us, Parameshwar, to be free from selfishness and jealousy, from fear and prejudices, and face the world with a positive mindset. Bless us, dear Lord, and give us the wisdom to recognize you as our Savior. In life and in death, in light and in darkness, in sorrow and in happiness, may we remain ever dedicated to your worship. Let me now repeat an ancient prayer that some Red Indians used to use during their worship. O Great Spirit, thank you for the gifts of this day and every day. Help us to open our hearts to peace and healing between all people. Open our hearts to end exclusion, violence, and fear among all. Open our hearts to provide and protect all children of the earth. Open our hearts to respect for the earth and all the gifts of the earth. Om Bhur Bhuvassaha Tat Savitur Varenang Bharga Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. We meditate on the benign wisdom and might of the Supreme Being, who reveals all worlds, who pervades all things, who is the highest good, the creator of the universe, who sends us all our powers of thought. Asato ma sadgamayo, tamaso ma jyotirgamayo, mrittur ma amritangamayo, avirabir ba'ethi, rudra yatte dakshinang mukhang, tena mang pahenityam. From unreality, lead us to reality and truth. From darkness, lead us to light. From death, lead us to life eternal. O self-revealing one, reveal yourself to us. You are Rudra, the destroyer of all evil. Reveal your form of peace and protect us forever. Om Brahma Kripa Hi Kevalam Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaskar.
Today we have gathered for the post-centennial Golden Jubilee function of Pune Prarthana Samaj. I now request Dr. Dilip Zog, Secretary and Trustee of Pune Prarthana Samaj, to welcome the dignitaries and address the audience on this occasion.
Friends, we have assembled today for the post-centennial Golden Jubilee function of Pune Prarthana Samaj, and we are very fortunate to have with us Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Nitin Karmarkar, as the chief guest. We also have with us virtually Shri Ambassador Shri Sudhir Deore, who will speak to us from Delhi. He is stationed in Delhi, and so we welcome him. And today we have to preside over the function Shri Bhupal Patwaran, who is the chairman of the Governing Council of Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. So we welcome them by presenting them a memento and fragrance in terms of incense sticks. So, I request Bhupalji to welcome Dr. Karmalkar. So we will so now I request the projection to project the picture of Sri Sudhir Deore, which is behind us, and welcome him virtually. So we have with us Professor Karmalkar, a brief introduction. So first of all, I welcome you all, those who are award winners and their accompanying persons. Everybody is welcome to this function. We are carrying it out in the pandemic situation. So otherwise, this function would be held in Pune Prarthana Samaj hall that you saw in the projection earlier. But because it's a crowded area, we decided to shift it here, and Sri Bhupalji gladly allowed us to conduct this function here. And as you know, it is Raja Ram Mohan Roy in Bengal. He founded the Brahmo Samaj because he saw the society at that time was really engulfed with cruel and oppressive traditions like, Sati Daha and many meaningless rituals. We call it karmatapana. So to free the society from the clutches of these oppressive traditions, the Brahmo Samaj was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He had to face a lot of problems from his own family and father, and at that time, but he went ahead and introduced all these reforms. So he is really called the Renaissance man of India, or father of modern India. So what we see today is the result of Raja Ram Mohan Roy's efforts. So in Maharashtra, the parallel of Brahmo Samaj was a Prarthana Samaj. So at that time, that is towards the end of 19th century, in about 1860s, as you all know, the transformations were started taking place because the British rule had settled here, and the education system had started, and 1857, the 4 universities were formed: University of Bombay, Madras, Kolkata. These universities were founded in the year 1857. So the first batch of graduates came out from that, and which included Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade, Dr. Ramakrishna Gopal Bhandarkar, Vamana Abaji Modak, Justice Telang. All these people, you take the name, and they have contributed so much to the society. They all were the graduates from the first batch of the Bombay University. The Pradhana Samaj came into existence, and the basic philosophy for Pradhana Samaj was formulated by Dr. Bhandarkar and Justice Ranade and others. They formed the cardinal principles which we have today. These were phrased and formulated by Dr. Bhandarkar himself. And he used to say that Pradhana Samaj is founded on 4 pillars. One of them is Upanishads, the second one is Bhagavad Gita, the third one is medieval saint literature, Santa Sahitya in Maharashtra. And the fourth important pillar, he used to say, is the Western liberal thought, which today we call it as a rationalism, or we can say Buddhi Pramanyavad. So if something appeals to you, you think and you decide. There is nobody going to tell in the matters of religion. A religion is something which you have to follow in your real life. That is religion. Religion is not rituals that we think of. So that is how it was, the basis was provided. And in fact, Justice Ranade, when he was analyzing Raja Ram Mohan Roy's contribution and his work, he said his work can be summarized in 3 words. First, humanize. Second step is equalize. And the third step is spiritualize. So humanize, equalize and spiritualize. This, in 3 words, his work can be described. That there used to be friendly meetings. The name was given, friendly meetings, to discuss the educational and social reforms and issues in the society. And most of the members of the meeting founded the Pune Pradhana. They are members of Pune Pradhana Samaj later. It was on 4th of December 1870, Pune Pradhana Samaj came into existence. So initially the meetings were held in the houses of members, because there was no place, and the details of this is available in the book Pradhana Samajasa Itihas, which was recently re-edited by Professor Raja Dikshit. So there was no place for worship. Therefore, people and members requested Justice Ranade to do something. So Justice Ranade purchased the present piece of land, is about 17,000 square feet in the heart of the city in Budwarpet, and he gave his full salary to purchase this land, and he donated to Pradhana Samaj. And then a small hall, the temple means a small prayer hall, was built on that. And this happened in 1877. So for 7 years, all these prayer meetings were held in the houses of the members. And after 1877, a small mandir was constructed there from the collection of the members. And the expenditure was more than the collection, and there was a deficit of rupees 624. At that time, it was a very big amount in 1877. So the secretary at that time was Chintaman Sakharam Chitnis, and he was junior sub-judge in the court, and he was in the judicial service. And he donated, he paid off that entire rupees 624 in 1877. And then he was secretary at that time, and he continued to be secretary till his sudden death in 1881. But Chintaman Sakaram Chitnis led the movement in the initial few years to establish Pune Prarthana Samaj, have meetings at his residence, and then pay off this additional loan and work as secretary. So many people like Kesharao Godbole, Chintaman Sakaram Chitnis, R.B. Sevak, B.R. Vayude, Ganpatrao Mule, Ganpat Gir, Ratan Gir. These are some of the names I thought I should take, because these are the people who actually founded Prarthana Samaj on 4th of December. And Ranade and Bhandarkar, they were in Mumbai. So they joined later when Bhandarkar came to Pune in Deccan College, and Ranade came again as a small cause judge. Then they joined Pune Prarthana Samaj. But earlier they were in Mumbai Prarthana Samaj. So that was part of some history. Then Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar, he gave 50 years of his life for the cause of Prarthana Samaj. He gave a solid foundation to Prarthana Samaj, philosophical foundation. And Justice Ranade used to say that this is purified Bhagavad Dharma. Because the Bhagavad Dharma, which was envisaged by Sant Eknath and others. So even from there, if you remove all the rituals, it becomes a purified Bhagavad Dharma. And Acharya Sitaram Brahmam, who was in Hyderabad, Deccan Brahma Samaj, he used to say that this is a place for all religious faith. You can come and worship here the all-pervading God, the formless God. So people from various religions, they can come together here and worship and stay happily. And you can have your own faith, but the Prarthana Samaj gives you a new perspective to look at your own religion. Looking at a religion, looking at the spirituality, you don't have to look outside. Today, everything that is happening is you are looking outside. Take the Ganesh festival, take the Navaratri festival, everything, all decorations, music, then fair and all those things. Everything, you look outside. But religion teaches you, any religion teaches you to look inside. So that is not happening. That is why all the problems are coming in our society. Society is getting fragmented in caste, creed, religion. Even the saints have been divided. So Prarthana Samaj teaches you to look inside. And then Atmonnati. And this is what Ranade used to say. He was a strong believer. And he said that today what we see in the society, what we need is Atmonnati. You look inside, and then as Tukaram says, Apulachi Vada Apanasi. So you look inside and talk to your soul. And then through that you will have spiritual upliftment. Through that this whole society also will be uplifted. Then the government, then the industry, then the economy, everything will be better. So what we call this as a bottom-up approach. You start from bottom. Today our Prime Minister is saying no corruption, we are not doing any corruption, we are very clean. But if you trickle down, how this will not trickle down? Because you see how much corruption is there at the ground level, grassroots level. How will it go? It will not go unless everyone feels that I will not do any corruption. So Atmonnati is required. And all the Prarthana Samajis, you can make out what contribution they made. After Bhandarkar, we have almost contemporary Vitthal Ramji Shinde, Maharshi Shinde. The work that he has done, he has shown the way of Karma Yoga to the Prarthana Samajist. But it is not just prayer, the religion and the religious reforms are not just to be talked about, they are to be implemented in the society. After this piece of land was purchased and a small temple was built there in around 1879 or so, immediately there was a need to form a committee to take care of the property of the mandir and so on. So there is a report of that, and interestingly I just noted it, that the meeting was held on February 10, 1878, and a managing committee was formed to take care of this temple. So it comprised of the following. I want to read because you can see each of the person there. So Rao Bahadur Gopal Hari Deshmukh, that is we call Lokahitavadi. So he was the first member. Then Rao Bahadur Mahadev Govind Ranade. Then third person was Raghu Bhandarkar. You know, we are sitting here in the Bhandarkar Institute. Then Vaman Abaji Modak. Of course, he worked as in Elphinstone High School in Mumbai, but he was in Pune, and he gave the first talk on religious reforms in Pune, which was also in a way responsible for the formation of Pratana Samaj. Then Babu Pratap Chandra Muzumdar, he was present. He was from Brahma Samaj and he was a missionary of Brahma Samaj, and he came to deliver lectures in the city of Pune. Then Bholanath Sarabhai, such names are also there. Mahipatram Rupram, Krishnaji Lakshman Nulkar. Another important name, Vishram Ramji Ghole. He was a member of Pratana Samaj. He was also a member of Satyachodak Samaj. So you see, then another important name is there, Narayan Mahadev Parmananda. You know, if you go to Mumbai, there is a big road in Girgaon, there is a Mama Parmananda Marg. So a devoted Pratana Samajist, a scholar at that time, and he was senior to Ranade Bhandarkar, and they used to go to him for discussions and for advice. So he was a great scholar, and he worked almost at the level of assistant secretary in the secretariat at that time in the British Raj. So that was Narayan Mahadev Paramananda, Mama Paramananda was there. And other members include, yes, that again I would like to tell here, Gangaram Bhau Maske. You see, so all these people, why I read all these names, they are all involved in social reforms and they started from them. So they are exemplary leaders. They're setting their own example. Because after Bhandarkar I told you gave the basis of to Pratana Samaj, and lot of social work was done at that time, which I will not repeat here. But leaders of Pratana Samaj, the names after Ranade Bhandarkar Shinde, Principal V.K. Zok of Wadia College, he was a staunch Pratana Samajist. And you see Wadia College and Modern Education Society, so he worked for that. Then after Principal Zok, Babu Raoji Jagtap was the president of Pune Pratana Samaj. You know the work that he has done, Shivaji Maratha Education Society, and you just go to the that society and that is his monument, we can say. You know, he was such a simple person. He got elected in Nagari Sangatana, which was formulated at the leadership of Nana Sahib Purulekar, and he got elected as a Nagar Seva, and then he became the mayor. Then we had K.Y. Bhandarkar, who was a retired judge from Delhi Supreme Court, and then he was president for several years. Because I remember centenary celebration of Pratana Samaj when I was young at that time, and I am very fortunate to witness the Golden Jubilee after centenary. So I hope our younger members who are sitting here, Samir Chaudhary, Sapna, they will see 200 years by a centennial year, they will celebrate definitely. That's all I wanted to say. This is a very good, satisfying occasion, but at the same time, there is a matter of worry that the number of members is dwindling, and we have to do something, and we are planning something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dilip Zog, for taking the audience through the journey of 150 years of Prarthana Samaj. Now I request Dr. Dilip Zog to introduce the invited dignitaries to audience, Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar, Shri Sudhir Devre, and I would like to request Mr. Bhupal Patwardhan, Chairman, Managing Committee, Bhandarkar Institute, to welcome them by presenting the memento and fragrance.
Well, I'm very happy to introduce to you Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar, who is an accomplished academician and an able administrator. Because as a Vice Chancellor, you have to be an able administrator. After his PhD in geology in 1986, he has been engaged in teaching and research at the University of Pune, and he has made significant contributions in the field of igneous petrology, geochemistry, environmental geology, and he has specialized in studying high altitude ophiolites from Himalayas and the Deccan Traps. He has received Professor C. Naganna Gold Medal of the Mineralogical Society of India for his contributions in the field of alkaline magnetism in Kutch region. Dr. Karmalkar has several research publications to his credit, both national and international journals, and 4 students have completed PhD under his guidance. Well, he is Dr. Karmalkar is a fellow of Geological Society of India and Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. Professor Karmalkar, as a Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, SPPU, since 2017 he has occupied that position and has brought several positive changes in the functioning of the university system. Under his leadership, the university is fast emerging as a premier institution of higher education at the national and international level. It can be seen from the international collaborations with foreign universities and also the Indian institutions of education. So we are indeed honored to have you, Professor Karmalkar, today with us for this function. Thank you very much. Then I will introduce another guest of honor, Ambassador Sudhir Devre, virtually. And I will do it really, but he will address us virtually. Shri Sudhir Devre, he hails from Pune, and he had his education from Wadia College, and he had his later education in degree in BSc Chemistry and MSc Chemistry from Institute of Science, Mumbai. So and then in this last year he cleared the IFS examination, Indian Foreign Service, and then he was a student of my school. I mean, he was senior to me, but he is the same modern high school. He is a student of modern high school, and he was something like 4th or 5th in the merit list at the 11th SSC examination. So the scholarship was exhibited by him many times in his career, and also you can see from his career as an ambassador to several countries, we can see the contribution he has made. Shri Sudhir Devre had a brilliant academic career and joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1964. He worked in Indian missions in Moscow, Washington, Gangtok, Frankfurt, Geneva, and Yangon. He was ambassador to South Korea, Ukraine, Armenia, Georgia, and he was the secretary, Ministry of Education Affairs from 1998 to 2001. He was closely associated with the evolution and implementation of India's Look East policy. You know, we talk of Look East policy, and that was formulated during his regime as Secretary of Ministry of External Affairs. Yes, and multilateral economic relations with the eastern countries. He was a member of National Security Advisory Board during 2001 to 2003. He is a fellow at the Weatherhead Center, Harvard University, USA. From 2009 to 2012, he was the Director General of Indian Council of World Affairs, the oldest think tank of India. Ambassador Devri has been as an honorary professor at the Symbiosis University and also JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Presently, he is chairman, Society for Indian Ocean Studies, a think tank in Delhi, a very important area today, because we know the importance of Indian Ocean today. And so he is chairman of the think tank of that. He is also author of a book, India and Southeast Asia Towards Security Convergence. He has edited 4 books and contributed extensively to journals, media on foreign policy issues. Ambassador Devri. Yes, you can see his picture. We had a plan to have our president of Pune Prarthana Samaj, Air Commodore Ashok Shinde, of course retired Ashok Shinde, but maybe due to his ill health, because he is very senior, perhaps he could not come today, and we are very happy that in his place we have today Shri Bhupalji, Bhupal Patwardhan. Yeah, and he readily agreed, because he thinks that Bhandarkar Institute and Prarthana Samaj, they both belong to Bhandarkar. Therefore, he had told us long back that when whatever you require, you come here and you can have your programs in this beautiful auditorium. And that's why we are here again. So thank you, Bhupalji. So I request our senior member who is sitting in the audience, Ratanlal Sonagra. He is our member. You know, Professor Ratanlal Sonagra is an author of several books, and he was the chairman of Maharashtra Rajya Sanskriti Mandal, and he has a contribution as chairman of Maharashtra Rajya Sanskriti Mandal. So he is member of Prarthana Samaj Pune, and I request him to felicitate Bhupalji by offering him a memento. Yes. Thank you, Ratanlal.
Now we will proceed with the award ceremony. I request Dr. Sushma Zog, a trustee of Pune Prarthana Samaj, to brief the audience with background of award and scholarship of Pune Prarthana Samaj. I also further request Dr. Dilip Zog to declare the names of awardees for year 2020, and I request Chief Guest Professor Karmalkar to represent the award. Over to you, Dr. Sushma Zog.
Here I am to present before the audience the background of the awards and scholarships that are given by Pune Prarthana Samaj during last some 5 to 6 years. To commemorate the extraordinary contribution of the luminaries, Pune Prarthana Samaj has instituted awards and scholarships in their name. The awards in the name of Dr. Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar and Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde are given on the foundation day of Pune Prarthana Samaj. The award in the name of Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade is given jointly with other 5 institutions established by Justice Ranade and Ramabai Ranade in Pune during the Vasanta Vyakhyanmala which was also started by Justice Ranade. So first I will give some background information about Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar Award. As you have heard about Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar on several occasions, and in the beginning, in the welcome address, and giving information about the history of Pune Prarthana Samaj, Dr. Dilip Zog also mentioned about this, that Dr. Bhandarkar was an inspiration behind foundation of Pune Prarthana Samaj and a world-renowned Oriental scholar. But to begin with, he was a graduate of mathematics and he was well versed with the developments in the field of modern science at that time. While working as fellow in Elphinstone College, he had started science club for the students. Dr. Bhandarkar was very much scientific in his approach, even in his Sanskrit studies. During his prayer services in Prarthana Samaj, he often used his knowledge about scientific discoveries and facts to illustrate the principles of Prarthana Samaj, such as all-pervading nature of God, rational view towards religion, and so on. In recognition of the scientific approach of Dr. Bhandarkar in all the walks of life, the Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar Award in the form of check of rupees 25,000 and memento and certificate is given to a person or institute engaged in spreading scientific temperament in the society, conservation of environment, and similar activities. The earlier winners of R.G. Bhandarkar Award are Professor Dr. Madhav Gadgil, Pune, renowned ecologist in the year 2016. Shri Dilip Kulkarni Kudal, a propagator of eco-friendly life for the year 2017. Jyotirvidya Parisamstha, Pune, for the year 2018. Dr. Jagannath Dikshit, Aurangabad, for the mass-scale propagation of a diet scheme helpful to get over type 2 diabetes for the year 2019. I now request Professor Dilip Zog to announce the name of the R.G. Bhandarkar awardee for the year 2020. Dr. Dilip Zog.
This year's Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar Award of 2020, the Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini has been selected for this. Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini, founded in 1989, has been engaged in tree plantation, nurturing of the planted trees, protecting them, and nature conservation. It has become an action-oriented movement of nature conservation. This is mainly due to the concerted efforts of Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini in making masses aware of nature conservation, tree plantation, and protection. MVS is continuously educating masses about various activities in various aspects of nature conservation. MVS has focused attention on Devrais through its Mission Devrai project. Pune Prarthana Samaj is very pleased to bestow the coveted Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar Award to Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini. Please come forward. Shri Sunil Bhide will receive the award. The award is carries cash award of 25,000 rupees, a memento, and a certificate.
Congratulations, Dr. Sunil Bhide and the team on receiving the coveted Bhandarkar Award of Pune Prarthana Samaj. The second Foundation Day Award of Pune Prarthana Samaj is Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award. As you are aware, Maharshi Shinde was a missionary of Prarthana Samaj, having full faith in the spiritual God. He dedicated his entire life for the cause of humanizing and equalizing the society. His work for the downtrodden section of the society by establishing depressed classes mission is unparalleled. The Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award, in the form of check of rupees 25,000, memento and certificate, is given to a person or institute engaged in the work for creating inter-community understanding. The earlier winners of Maharshi Shinde Award of Pune Prarthana Samaj are Sainik Mitra Parivar Pune for the year 2016 for creating a bond between soldiers and civilians. Shri Sanjay Nahar for the year 2017 for developing understanding between Kashmiri children and youth and the rest of the India by creating facilities for their education and rehabilitation. Shri Ramesh Chavan Pune for the year 2018 for making available the writings of Shri Rana Chavan, an unbiased thinker of Vai Brahmo Samaj, to the historian community and society in general in the form of 38 books which were published by Ramesh Chavan by using his own pension. So, that was the third Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award. The fourth Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award of 2019 was given to Dr. Vishwas Sapatnekar from Thane for rendering medical and surgical service to the foot pilgrims of the Pandharpur Yatra and for the voluntary service as a scuba diver to the national security. Those who remember the newspapers or the headlines that appeared in 1992, they would remember the importance of this, what he did as a scuba diver for the national security. I now request Professor Dilip Zog to announce the name of Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde awardee for the year 2020.
Muktangan Mitra has been selected for the Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award 2020, and the director, Dr. Mukta Puntambekar, will receive the award. Muktangan Mitra is active in the field of drug demand reduction, treatment of substance users, research in this area, and also spreading the awareness about this in this society. Muktangan Rehabilitation Center, founded by Dr. Anita and Dr. Anil Ausat, is standing today as a testimony of the service to the society, in particular the addicts. Muktangan Mitra has even started an exclusive integrated rehabilitation center for female substance users since 2009. It is managed by all female staff and under the able leadership of Dr. Mukta Puntambekar. Dr. Mukta Puntambekar is working as the director, Muktangan Rehabilitation Center, for several years. I invite Dr. Mukta Puntambekar to receive the award for Muktangan Mitra.
Congratulations, Dr. Mukta Puntambekar and the team of Muktangan Mitra for the Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde Award. Now I go to the next award which is given on the Foundation Day of Pune Prarthana Samaj, and that is Davida Roberts Award. Dr. Miss Davida Roberts was an education faculty in Wales, United Kingdom. She also used to participate in welfare programs for children. She visited Pune Prarthana Samaj in the year 1998 and was impressed by the activities of the primary school run by Pune Prarthana Samaj. She became a regular donor of the school. Through the large donation received by Pune Prarthana Samaj by her bequest, an award was instituted in her name. The Davida Roberts Award of Pune Prarthana Samaj, in the form of the check of rupees 25,000, memento and certificate, is given to a person or an institute engaged in the work for children with special needs. The previous winners of Davida Roberts Award of Pune Prarthana Samaj are Bombay Prarthana Samaj Mumbai for the year 2015 for their extensive work extended over almost a century or more on running orphanages in Pandharpur and Mumbai. Kamayani Pune for the year 2016 for rehabilitation work for mentally challenged children. CASP Pune for the year 2017 for providing facilities for all-round development of children from slums and low-income families. Manavya Pune for the year 2018 for providing shelter and mother's love to the children outcast due to AIDS. Bharatiya Jain Sangatana Pune for the year 2019 for rehabilitation of children from Killari earthquake affected zone and children from the suicide-struck farmers' families. I now request Professor Dilip Zog to announce the name of the Davida Roberts awardee for the year 2020.
I am very happy to announce that Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe of Jnanadevi organization has been selected for this year's Davida Roberts Award 2020. Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe is not new to Pune. She has been working in this area for the last several years, decades rather. Is an accomplished academician first, I think. Through her Jnanadevi organization, she is engaged in child-centric community developments amongst underprivileged communities. She has authored a model for recreational activity aimed towards healthy mental growth of children. This is known as Gammat Shala. This model has a significant impact on platform children and PMC school children. We are indeed very happy to give away the Davida Roberts Award 2020 to Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe. I invite Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe to receive the award.
So after the award ceremony, now I present the background on the scholarships and book grants that are given to students by Prarthana Samaj on Pune Prarthana Samaj on the Foundation Day. Pune has been a seat for education for several decades. The Pune Prarthana Samaj gives, therefore, 3 scholarships under the name Principal Vishwanath Keshav Zog Scholarship, Guruvarya Baburao Jagtap Scholarship, and Suyog Pune Prarthana Samaj Scholarship to bright and needy students who come to Pune for higher education. 2 presidents of Pune Prarthana Samaj were founders of 2 educational institutes which contributed substantially to add the Pune's fame in the field of education. Principal Vishwanath Keshav Zog was the founder of Modern Education Society and several colleges in the faculties of arts, science, commerce, engineering, law, technical training and so on in Pune and Mumbai. And Guruvarya Baburao Jagtap was founder of Shivaji Maratha Education Society, which runs several schools and colleges to reach out to masses. To commemorate the work of these 2 luminaries and to acknowledge the cooperation of Suyog Development Corporation, Pune Prarthana Samaj gives scholarships to bright and needy students who come from various parts of Maharashtra to study in Pune. And this scholarship is given to these students for 3 successive years, starting from the first year, then to second, and then to third to get the degree. The only condition is that their academic record should be clear throughout these 3 years. They should not have any backlog. And another condition is that they should attend the weekly upasanas of Prarthana Samaj. Not every Sunday we compel, but 6 times during a term. So that is the condition, but our experience is that they attend the upasanas more number of times, and not only themselves, but they take their friends also along with them to attend the upasana. And during this pandemic lockdown period, these students who come from various villages and towns in Maharashtra to Pune for their education, they had to go back to their villages. But I am very pleased to tell that even from those places, they try to connect to us to join the virtual upasana on the Sunday. Some of the students, they told us that in their place they don't get the connectivity, so when there is no rain, they will go to the nearby mountain and attend the upasana. So that is how they get attracted to this concept. So, and inspired by this program of Pune Prarthana Samaj, some individuals have also funded to increase the number of scholarships, and they have also started the book grants for these students. So here you will find in the slides, because this year's scholarship selection procedure got delayed because of the lockdown. The students have not yet occupied the hostels, and their colleges have not yet physically started, and therefore they will be selected soon when the colleges begin. But till then, these are our current students who are already having their scholarships and they are in their places. So we have these 4 Vishwanath Keshav Zog scholars. Next, Guruvarya Baburao Jagtap scholars. Now you can see that they are from various places, remote areas in Maharashtra. Then we have Suyog scholarship scholars. And then our president, Air Commodore Ashok Shinde, and his well-educated wife Anuradha Shinde, to commemorate their memory of their father and mother. They started this, they funded this scholarship of Lakshmibai Prataprao Shinde scholarship, and these are the 2 girls who received this scholarship. They are having this scholarship. And then there are also book grants given to the students in the memory of Kusum Sadashiv Zog and Usha Prabhakar Bhagwat, and we have appealed public in general to add to these scholarships and book grants so that more students will get benefited out of this program. Now I hand over to Sapna for the further program.
Greetings to the awardees and scholars. Now we are going to witness the felicitations of two personalities on this special occasion. I request Dr. Dilip Zog to take in charge of this felicitation. Dr. Dilip Zog.
As I said half an hour back, we have Shri K.M. Chitnis with us, who is the great grandson of Chintaman Sakharam Chitnis, the lead founder of Pune Prarthana Samaj. He is with us. Shri Krishnakant Madan Chitnis. He had with his higher education background in commerce, accountancy and management, Shri Chitnis joined Bank of Maharashtra and rose to the position of Assistant General Manager. And he has been a visiting faculty in the subject of finance and has authored 15 titles on banking and finance. So I request Shri K.M. Chitnis to come forward and accept our felicitations at the hands of Bhupalji, Bhupal Patwardhan. He is nearly 80, but his curiosity about his great grandfather brought him to us. Thank you, Shri Chitnis. The second person we would like to felicitate today is Srimati Dhanashri Ganatra, who presented a very beautiful song of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, which was translated by my better half, Dr. Sushma Zog, and a very simple composition it was. So Dhanashri sang it beautifully. It was really heart-touching. Srimati Dhanashri Ganatra is a multifaceted creative artist, a lyricist. She has composed music, she has written songs, she has directed music, she has been music director in the films, she has been a film director and an accomplished singer, everything in one. She has several music albums and award-winning short films to her credit. She is a performing artist and a radio singer. For the past 15 years, she has been a part of Adhyatmik Sangeet program of Pune Prarthana Samaj. On this occasion of 150th year of Pune Prarthana Samaj, we requested her to produce an audio CD of compositions of stalwarts of the Pune Prarthana Samaj, like Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar, Vaman Abaji Modak, Bhikoba Dada Chavan, Bhara Tambe, Moro Prabhakar Khare and Raja Ram Mohan Roy. We are going to present this CD to All India Radio Pune, and we will request them to to play these songs by these stalwarts like Dr. Bhandarkar and Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So, in spite of her busy schedule, she always gives time for the Pune Prarthana Samaj. We wish to felicitate her on this occasion of completion of 150 years. Dhanashri Ganatra. Yes, again I request Bhupalji to present the felicitations to her.
Both the felicitations were very apt at this occasion of post-centennial Golden Jubilee of Pune Prarthana Samaj. Now I request the awardees to express their views on this occasion. First, Dr. Bhide of Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini.
Thank you, Pune Prarthana Samaj, Dr. Zog sir, Dr. Sushma Zog sir, Madam, Honorable Vice Chancellor Karmalkar sir, Bhupalji Patwardhan is my old schoolmate, and thank you all. Thanks for giving this award to Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini. First of all, I like to pay my tributes to Mahadev Govinda Ranade and Bhandarkar sir. You will be surprised, I have got a first-hand information. Till his death in 1901, Ranade sir had a corpus of around 1 lakh in those days, and he used to donate all the interest. And after his death, till 24 years, Lady Ramabai Ranade continued that practice, and in 1924, she formed a trust with corpus of around 1 lakh in those days. So these were the kind of people who were selfless and devoted for the upliftment of the society. And we all should be indebted to such noble souls. So I'll pay my tributes and homage to Ranade sir and Bhandarkar sir. And thank you for honoring Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini. We have been active for last 30 years. Professor Vartak sir was the key person who formed our organization, and he was ably helped by Jadhav sir, who was Inspector General of Forest, Dikshit sir, and others. Prayag sir was also there. And that for last 30 years, Gokte sir, who just expired, was a ex-PCCF, and Pandit Kaka, Prabhakar Pandit Kaka, we fondly call him Pandit Kaka, they carried on these activity and kept the institution running. Our main work is connecting people to the nature. We are basically an interface, an interconnection node. We try to connect people to the experts, researcher to the experts, people from diverse field. We try to create a multidisciplinary team and interconnect each other. So if you want to know anything on nature, we'll be able to help you. We'll be able to connect you to the expert. We'll give you any information you want on any subject related to nature conservation. We believe that understanding is the first step for conservation. And after the understanding comes the appreciation. And once you start appreciating, you automatically start conservation. So we are at the first stage still, and we are creating this moment of awareness about different aspects of nature in different fields, not only botany or any particular field, but all aspects of nature. And we in Pune are fortunate. We have got a pool of experts and researchers who are willing to share their knowledge and experience. And we are trying to connect these experts and researchers to the students or aspirants who wants to know more on nature. You can check our channel, Mission Devrai. It is on YouTube, and we are trying to create a library of lectures, a portfolio of lectures on nature in Mission Devrai channel, and we have uploaded few of our lectures. Our total lectures number 300 and more, but we are in the process of uploading those lectures on YouTube. You are welcome to check our Mission Devrai channel, and thank you everybody. I'll like to close. Our Bhandarkar sir was a great devotee and admirer of Tukaram Maharaj, and he used to love his Abhangas. So I'll say ki famous we know all. I'll just modify it a little. Vrikshavalli amma sage soyare iti srujanahi susware alaviti. I've changed a little, and we all should pray nature, be close to the nature, and it's a great bliss. If you experience the nature, it's a great bliss. It is to be experienced. It cannot be expressed in words. It is something different feeling. If you go to a Devrai, the sort of silence you will experience, the sort of vocal silence you will experience is different. You have to go to the nature, understand it, and then you will get connected to the nature, and then that connection will never be lost. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Bhide. Now I request Dr. Mukta Puntambekar of Muktangan Mitra to express her views on this occasion.
Good evening. Thank you very much for this award. A few days back, when Dr. Dilip Zog called me about this award, I requested him to give this award to my center, Muktangan Mitra, rather than giving it to me personally. Because I think Muktangan is a very good example of teamwork. There are so many people working there, and this is a very different kind of work. So actually today I'm here just as a representative of whole team of Muktangan. Muktangan was started 34 years back by my parents, Dr. Anil Outsat and Dr. Anita Outsat. My mother was a psychiatrist and she had not seen any de-addiction center because that time there was no such center in Maharashtra. So she decided to learn from the patients. So whenever patients used to come for admission, for treatment, she used to discuss with them. She used to try to find out their expectations from her, what kind of help they require from us. So this way, she always used to say, Muktangan treatment program was developed while learning from our patient friends. So this program is completely based on Indian culture. So the people who come to us for treatment, they feel completely relaxed, they feel at home. They always think Muktangan is like our home. All the wives, they think it is their maher. So they are very, very comfortable in Muktangan. And my parents, they also tried to inculcate Gandhian philosophy in our treatment. So the ambience of Muktangan is not like any hospital, but it's like ashram of Mahatma Gandhi. If all of them stay together, we don't have any special rooms for them. They also have to participate in all kinds of work in Muktangan, right from cleaning their ward to cooking, everything. So this is also part of our treatment module. In Muktangan, we just don't help for their detoxification, but we also have to help them for their rehabilitation, to reintegrate into society. So just, I would like to give one example. My colleague Ashok Pawar is sitting here and I would like to give his example. Ashok was admitted long time back for his alcoholism. And because of his addiction, his wife had left him. And she was staying with her family in Mumbai. But then Ashok got admitted, he got recovered, he started working in Muktangan. And we started communicating with his wife, Anita. So she was very happy and she wanted to come back. But of course, she did not have any job. So I'm very glad to mention that Dr. Dilip Zog and Dr. Sushma Zog, they offered her a job and she started working with them. And for many years she was working. Ashok and Anita, they wanted to buy a house. So even they provided financial help to buy a house. And they, unfortunately, a few years back, Anita passed away. But Ashok stays with his son Ashish. He's also well educated, doing a very good job. So there are many people like Dr. Zog in society. They are doing the actual work. I always think I'm just the face of Muktangan, or even my father is just a face of Muktangan. Actual work is done by so many people like, even like, I think I must express my gratitude to all these people while accepting this award. So thank you very much once again. And I'm very proud of my team to doing this kind of work, and in this, especially in this challenging situation of this pandemic, this award is a welcome relief for us, and it has given a lot of energy to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mukta Puntambekar. Now I request Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabudhe to express her views.
Namaskar, dignitaries on the stage and the pandemic audience. Otherwise, I'm sure there would have been many more. Many people had expressed, my own friends, that they would like to come, but unfortunately I had to tell them they can't. Anyway, thank you for this award from coming from Prarthana Samaj and the most respected people like Justice Ranade and Mr. Bhandarkar and Vittal Ramji Shinde and the likes. I think they are the ones who put us on this path. And those three words, I really noted them down: humanize, equalize, etc. I think somewhere in our work that is reflecting, though I can't say that I've really learned from them, but definitely having heard of their work and having seen what these kind of people have been doing. And I'm really proud to be born in India and born in Maharashtra and born in Pune, to top it all, to have such people all around us and hearing stories about them from our grandmothers and grandfathers and parents, etc. Having said that, a little about Nyan Devi. As Mukta said, again, this award is for Nyan Devi and the team, because I am again just the face of it. Okay, they say you started it, fine. But if I wouldn't have had a team, it would have never worked. A little bit about what Nyan Devi does. Several years ago, we started a community program, community education program, where we said we will do need-based education. Having decided on that, by and by, quite accidentally, we discovered that we need to focus on the children, because in slums that we started working, though we found that the children were going to school, the problems were unending. And again, as I said a lot, there have been that word accident is going to be repeated in what I say, because really I think my life has been a big accident, I feel, whatever has been happening, but good accidents. So I mean, where in a slum where we were told that they focus on Mahila Mandal, these used to be our entry points, whether it's a Mahila Mandal, whether it's a youth group or whatever. And I discovered that the ladies who were flouting their, I mean, they were being very proudly telling us that our all children go to school, and some of them even go to colleges like Wadia College and all. So I thought there's no need to look at the education of the children. But quite accidentally, I found out that actually these people are harboring a big inferiority complex, which they are passing on to the next generation. And then, giving it a little academic thought, it led me to believe that a lot of problems that we see with the slum youth and children and youth come out of this inferiority complex. Because there is inferiority complex, they drop out of school. Of course, there are a lot of push-out factors in those schools. They drop out of school, and the role models they have, the dadas around, they are either gambling or they are just whiling their time away. So those are the role models. So these children, once out of school, the parents are least bothered what they are doing. The girls are married off at the age of 14. By 16, they are mothers. By 35, they are grandmothers. And by 40, they are dead, thanks to all the gender discrimination and whatnot they go through since birth. They also end up being child laborers. The boys out of school, they end up being child laborers, or they get trapped into delinquency. Because once the money factor comes in, any game, any innocent play game, whatever we played like marbles or cards or anything, is always turned into gambling in these situations. So then we decided to build on that, and we said, okay, we will build an education system on your existing habits. So first thing was to start these Gammat Shalas, and then we said that this Gammat Shala, the first aim of the Gammat Shala was every child will go to school, whatever the quality of school. There were no birth certificate, okay, we will provide age certificates. Having done that, we went to school. Sometimes parents wouldn't even go out to sign the forms. We would become their guardians. We would sign their forms. And then the second step was to see that they stay in school. And to stay in school, we had to take care of the difficulties they had, whether it's not having educational material, that time it was not free, or second thing is not understanding subjects. If you teach geography without showing them maps, nobody is going to like it. If you teach science without having experiments, nobody is going to like it. So we created games and a school after school, which is Gammat Shala, and we created a model because we knew difficulties of NGOs, of money all the time. So we said we don't require books, we don't require equipment, we don't require place. You give us a ground, open place, any room, and we will have the school. We don't have any blackboards, we don't have any books. So everything is taught the playway method. But first point was to show them their strengths. Once that was shown, so give them a lot of opportunities. So we wrote a prayer saying, प्रथम स्वतःची ओळख, गुण अवगुणांची पारख झालीच पाहिजे. So prayer goes like that. So you find your strengths, you find your weaknesses, build on your strengths. That is what we call, Nyandevi calls sanskar. When that happened, immediately we found within 6 months the children had started going to school and staying in school. But not only that, having discovered their strengths, we gave them a lot of opportunities. Take them to dance competitions outside, take them to form Lejim Pathaks and take them in front of Manache Ganpati. And all this gave them a great boost for their self-confidence. Once the self-confidence came, the achievement motivation zoomed up like nobody's business. So from these boys and girls, they used to show their report cards like as if they've received Bharat Ratna if they had no red line on the report card. So 35 was very happy report. From that on, within 6 months, we got a result where girls from communities where they were just going to be pulled out of school and going into burqas, they were saying now they are going to school and they've not got good marks. So we said how much? It was just a Naumai Pariksha or something like that. So they said 80% and they are not happy with it. So I'm not worried about marks. I don't believe in marks-related education myself, but wanting to get more, that ambition, then that complex is gone. And this is important to me because at that point of time, I was feeling very frustrated because this is a large community. Their idea of family planning is very successful, but their idea of family planning is 3 live children, out of which 2 have to be boys. In the process, many girls are born. Okay, so having such large families and such large population, which is going to be uneducated, out of school, into delinquency, into child labor, into child marriage, it's a scary situation for the country and a great imbalance, because here we have our type of families where we are going from 2 children to 1 children to no children. So, and those 1 child or 2 child are highly educated, so there's brain drain. And so what kind of imbalance? This small group community ruling over this large section of inferiority complex ridden, who automatically get into the vicious cycle of alcoholism and drug addiction and all kinds of vices, beating mothers. By the way, let me tell you that one of our famous educational in part of the modules is we call it Dindi, building on the Warkari Dindi. We don't call it Morcha, it has a negative tone. So every month they do something like Paryavaran or Save Water or something. But the most famous is Baba Daru Piu Naka, Aila Maru Naka. That is the most famous Dindi we have, and children demand it. Our staff goes a little bit, no, you shouldn't be doing it. They even managed to close down so many alcohol shops in the Basti. And the mothers are really happy, and so the alcoholism has gone down. When the children tell you upfront that this is what you're doing to us, so that confidence they have gained. Anyway, coming back to what I was saying, this kind of imbalance to the country is very dangerous. A small group of highly qualified people ruling this kind of frustrated large section, or vice versa. In fact, we are seeing some of the results. Now, we are very small people. I am a very small person. I knew I can't change the country, but I can at least, as an educationist, experiment and set a module. Doing this through, just like Mukta said, we have learned from the children. Children have taught us the methodologies. We have been changing the methodologies. Now we have modules which are applicable in remand homes. They are for juvenile delinquents. They are applicable on station platform children, as Mr. Jog mentioned. De-addiction of platform children, rehabilitation of delinquents, or in slums as we are doing it. We are replicating in the form of Bal Sena in various schools also. So the result has been right from day 1, 0 dropout rate. Now, any statistician will say 0 is not a good figure to say, but I'm sorry, I have statistics to prove that. So 0 dropout rate, 0 child marriage, 0 child labor, all my delinquents are rehabilitated. Children who were waste pickers, today school dropouts, today are engineers, today they are graduates, postgraduates, they are film editors, all doing great things and standing in the communities even when we have left the project areas, and becoming good leaders of the communities, changing the next generation. No alcoholism in those slums now, where we are working for 30 years or more, and the change continues. From this, we went, can I take 2 more minutes? I think just 2 more minutes. From there, we went on to children wanting attention. What children said is, what you are giving us is not education, but the love and attention you give changes us. That's the feedback that came from children. And they wanted more. So they started contacting us through phones. Those were the PCO days. And 1 rupee was very important, but they used to find it from somewhere and call us at odd hours. So that led to getting Childline, which is a 24-hour helpline for children in distress, which came to Nyandevi. It's a government program, national program now working in 500 cities. So we are available on that 1098 number for 24 hours, 365 days. My team is available. And it is hard, thankless job working at a very low salary, which the government gives them, but they do work. And we are at the moment, continuously dealing with a lot of child sexual abuse. Mostly fathers are the culprits in 60% cases, sorry to say so. I'm shattering a lot of cocoons, I think. We all live in soft cocoons. Child marriages are happening right here in Pune, though we are talking of legacy of Ranade and Bhandarkar and people. Every month we are at least stopping 2 or 3 child marriages. I don't know how many are happening otherwise. And there are children being beaten in school, being beaten at home, everywhere. Latest is porn addiction, net addiction, cyber related problems. These are the issues we are dealing with. So these are the major issues, child protection related things happening in and around. So anytime you find a child in distress, you don't want to help them or are scared of police, please call us. We don't ask you your names. We still take on the cases. So 1098 is the number. And having said that, thank you again for this pat on the back. It always helps. And again, I will repeat, coming from Prarthana Samaj, it's a huge Ashirwad. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabudhe. Now I request the guest of honor of today's function, Shri Sudhir Devre, to deliver his address.
Namaskar. Honorable Vice Chancellor Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Dr. Karmarkar. Honorable Mayor of Pune, Shri Moholji. President of Pune Prarthana Samaj, Air Commodore Ashok Shinde, Shri Dilip Zog, other office bearers of Prarthana Samaj, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed delighted and feel honored that you have asked me to be present here on the occasion of the post-centennial Golden Jubilee functions of Pune Prarthana Samaj. It is remarkable that this institution, which was set up as early as 1870, is still functioning and functioning very actively. Pune can be justifiably proud of these institutions, many of which were established in the 19th century. Now, coming to think of it, those days when communications were so poor and time consuming, I really wonder how stalwarts like Raja Ram Mohan Roy's message carriers like Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade or the famous Indologist Professor Bhandarkar and others, then Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde and others, drawn by the inspiration of Brahmo Samaj and the thinking about social and religious reforms, started this institution at that time. It was in many ways a basic reform away from the emphasis on rituals and rites, a kind of an egalitarian movement which was started, and it also took into account the strength of prayer, the power of prayer, and therefore the word Prarthana Samaj. The founders of this institution were not just social reformers, they were also great patriots, and their contribution to the social awakening of India from that time onwards, it is really commendable. And I think today, on this occasion, we should again pay tribute to the memory of Mahadev Govind Ranade, Professor Bhandarkar, Maharshi Shinde, and many others who spent years and years in building this institution. Later on, in the 20th century, there were again many thinkers and intellectuals who supported this institution, and I distinctly recall Principal V.K. Jog of Wadia College, where I was a young boy at that time. I remember Principal Jog giving a kirtan dressed up in a button coat and a cap, and a man who was otherwise very impeccably dressed in Western attire was a very different person when he attended the meetings of Prarthana Samaj. He was heading this institution for many years and brought it to the stature that it enjoys today. His grandson Dilip Jog has carried on this tradition, and I am really very happy that he is here today, and it was him who really, that is because of him that I have been able to come this afternoon. Prarthana Samaj as a socio-religious reform movement, in my view, it is still very much relevant today, because the movement was really driven by the principles of humanism, compassion, a feeling for equality, egalitarianism, and it was very strongly premised on removal of several unjust rites and rituals from our religion. And therefore, I think the importance of this movement cannot be really overemphasized even today. The logo of this institution, humanize, spiritualize, is, I think, very apt. We need greater sympathy for each other, particularly for the downtrodden classes, and that, I think, can be achieved through the means of prayers which Prarthana Samaj, through its activities, propagates and very strongly supports. The immortal message which was given by the saints of Maharashtra, Santa Jnaneshwar, Santa Namdev, and Santa Tukaram, used to find echo in the prayers of Prarthana Samaj. And I think these hymns or their shloka or their abhanga have a permanent and universal appeal and value, I think, which cannot be, and I think that is a abiding strength of the Prarthana Samaj. I gather that the Samaj continues to carry out activities in this very elegant building, the Hari Mandir, shibirs for young people, Sanskriti shibirs, or music recitals, or organizes programs on festivals. All this is actually community building. This brings people together in an atmosphere of virtues and good practices. This can imbibe on the students today values which are really universal, and therefore Prarthana Samaj, I hope, would continue to carry out similar programs and activities in the future. It is very encouraging to see that the enlightened classes in Pune, and they are all from all caste and creeds and sections of the society, have joined Prarthana Samaj activities, and I think that this is in this spirit, this institution hopefully would continue to function. Once again, I would like to express my thanks for this invitation and for this opportunity to see this the activities of this very noble institution in the city of Pune. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Sudhir Devre, for the address. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar, today's chief guest, to deliver his address.
Good evening, distinguished dais, my professor and mentor, Professor Dilip Jog, Mrs. Jog, Praful G. Patwardhan. Today's award is, in fact, one of them I am closely associated with is Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhan, and both of them, his son of Shri Vartak, he is present over here. He is my colleague from the Department of Geology at Wadia College, and Shri Sunil Bire, who has been actually leading this particular organization. And recently, in fact, about 15 days before time, they had a webinar, in fact, to make people understand about the work that they are doing, many different aspects of climate change and other various different related issues they were talked about. The other two organizations, of course, Muktangan is known to everyone in Pune, and Sanjeevani I got to know today. The other organization led by Sahasrabudh. So all three of you are doing a wonderful work in tune with what the Prarthana Samaj has started 150 years before time. And in fact, thank you, Professor Dilip Jog sir, for taking us into the memory lane of 150 years long memory lane of Prarthana Samaj, right from the beginning till date, what has been happening and what is basically cause and objectives of this wonderful organization. Otherwise, generally in the fifth or sixth standard in the history, there used to be a small paragraph on Brahmo Samaj and Prarthana Samaj. Somewhere we have heard of these names, like whether it is Dadoba Pandurang or Ranade, Mahadev Govinda Ranade, or the Oriental Institute founder, in fact, Bhandarkar sir. These are all great heroes. In fact, think of like 150 years before time, what kind of basically odd things were there in the society, and to bring out people from that, it must have been very challenging, the kind of a struggle they had to undergo. We have read about Mahatma Phule also, when in fact he started teaching his own wife, and then women education basically became a priority. And then since then, in fact, a long journey after his death, his wife Savitribai Phule, and the kind of basically, I would say, untoward, I would say, incidences she has to undergo in her lifetime. But despite all that, she remained to be a successful, and perhaps that's the reason the present Pune University has been named after her. So whether it is Satya Shojok Samaj, whether it is Brahmo Samaj, whether it is Prarthana Samaj, all these people have done basically a great sort of a work. But again, it is needed very much, as I was listening to Madam Sahasrabudhe when she was mentioning about the child marriages are still happening, and perhaps education is the only I would say the weapon through which we can bring them out of this particular kind of a tradition or custom as such. So this is a wonderful evening that I am enjoying for last 2 hours, I would say. We started at 4:15, although we used to start at 4 o'clock, but 15 minutes late. And then the speech that were delivered, or the Prarthana initially, the prayer sung by this wonderful lady sitting in front, Dhanashri Ganatra. So this is a wonderful evening and the wonderful people who are here, and I'm so happy that their work is getting recognized by none other than the Prarthana Samaj. And I'm feeling myself proud to be associated with this award giving ceremony as such. So I'm blessed in fact by their presence and by your speeches, and it's I'm giving you an open invitation to all of you, be part of the university, or rather help university in inculcating the value system that you are inculcating in the society. So with these words, I stop here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. So now I request Mr. Bhupal Patwardhan, sir, to deliver his address.
Dignitaries on the dais and friends, I am very grateful that I was not supposed to preside this function, but as Air Commodore Mr. Shinde is not here, so Zog sir gave me an opportunity to preside the function. So I am very grateful to Zog sir. I was very delighted to hear Professor Zog, because the whole history of Prarthana Samaj was known to us properly. As he mentioned that I have read that book of Mr. Raja Dikshit. And I think, so these religious things, Prarthana Samaj must think again about the things which can be, I can say, modified. As you have rightly pointed out, that humanize, equalize and spiritualize are the three main aspects. Those first two aspects are social aspects, but spiritual aspect is the individual aspect. And let us agree on one thing, that against spiritual or materialistic, both goes hand in hand. We cannot deny the materialistic approach to the world, because world is staying on it. But we have to give a morality to materialistic approach, and from that an individual spirituality will start. So material aspect is something, a social aspect. We cannot expect, no one can escape material aspect. So here we have to, something we have to see. And as far as social aspect is concerned, oh great. After 150 years also, when we heard Anuradha and all these, the problems are same, and we are going through the same problem, and Prarthana Samaj is helping them. So let us unite these organizations. As I am very happy to state that two of these organizations, Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini and Anuradha Jnanodaya, are very well connected with our institute. We would like to connect our institute with Mugdhatai's institute also, because Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute doesn't only work in research. If you are going to be an institute, you have to have some social aspects also, which definitely we are going to keep it as it is. So I again thank Dr. Zog and Zog Madam and the work they are doing. As I have, last time also I have told that Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute and Prarthana Samaj both are same bodies. Let us work together. And as you have rightly quoted, that why Prarthana Samaj is not growing. You see, grow in number doesn't mean to grow. As far as democracy also is concerned, one person, one vote, whether it is right or wrong, has to be judged. So Prarthana Samaj is something which gives you a intellectual, or what you have rightly pointed out, spiritual thought process and the way how to go ahead. So this is very important. Another thing you have told with it, be logical, be rational. To be a rational, Unfortunately, we talk about rationalism and logic, but we never go in that way. But it's a very great thing, which Professor Zog has rightly explained. Karmalkar sir, he has rightly pointed out how these organizations are working, and the approach, yes, Pune Vidyapeeth had changed its approach under the leadership of Karmalkar sir, and I always say that each and every institute has to be a public oriented. That's what he has done, and that's what university is doing. And I'm glad that our institute is also trying to do the same thing, and we will definitely do the same thing. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Dattatreya Late to pay vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody gathered here on this wonderful evening. I am here to propose vote of thanks. I take this golden opportunity to thank respected chief guest of today's function, Honorable Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar sir, Vice Chancellor Savitribai Phule Pune University, for attending this function in his busy schedule. We will cultivate the advice which you have given to us, sir, and in our Pune Pratana Samaj activity. Thank you, sir, for being with us. I extend my gratitude to the Ambassador Sudhir Devre, sir, Indian Foreign Service, for being guest of honor for today's function via video conferencing. He has not only spent his time but also encouraged us to achieve many more such goals. Thank you, sir. Then it's my pleasure to thank Sri Muralidhar Mohal, Mayor Pune City, for sending his greetings on the occasion of today's function. And I also thank Sri Bhupal Patwardhanji, especially the Chairman Managing Committee, Bhandaka Oriental Research Institute, Pune, for allowing us to hold this function at this beautiful auditorium. He has not only supported this program, he has supported our many such programs since last year, and he is very grateful for us. And he has also told us in his speech about how to inculcate this new generation of we have less member, and how to solve this less member. And we will definitely like to work together, sir, in this regard. And I also extend my gratitude to thank dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, not only for their active participation but also for guiding us. I thank Srimati Dhanasri Ganatra for invocation and Sri Sanjay Chadha for the prayers. I extend my thanks to Sri K.M. Chitnis for attending function and accepting our felicitation. I extend my thanks to Maharashtra Vriksha Samurdhini Pune representative for personally coming and accepting the R.G. Bhandarkar Award for the year 2020. I also like to thank Smith Mukta Puntambekar, Director Muktangan Mitra Pune, for accepting the Maharshi Vittal Ramji Sindhe Award for the year 2020. Ma'am, I am a big fan of you, as since quite many years I am reading your articles published in newspapers and video also published on YouTube and all. Thank you, madam, for accepting our award. I extend my thanks to Dr. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe for accepting the Davida Roberts Award for the year 2020. I like to thank media person and representative for various newspapers in Pune for giving due publicity of various activities of Pune Prarthana Samaj. I also like to thank those participants who are now connected via various social media and platform. I thank our IT teams for continuous support and advice. I like to thank Pancham Studio for the video shooting and all recording. Last but not, I like to thank all my colleagues and the participants without which this program would not have been succeed. Once again, I thank one and all wholeheartedly. Thank you all. With the permission of chief guest, I declare that today's function have been ended. I now request Professor Sushma Zog come forward for the Pasayadan. Thank you all.
आता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषोनी मज द्यावे पसाय दान हे पसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवाचे मैत्र जीवाचे दुरिताचे तिमिर जावो विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो जेवांचील तो ते लाहो प्राणिजात प्राणिजात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वरनिष्ठांची मांदी आडी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणींचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पीयूषाचे पीयूषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे होतु सोय रे होतु किंबहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होऊनी तिन्ही लोकी भजिजो आदिपुरुखी अखंडित अखंडित येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरावो हा होईल दानपसावो हा होईल दानपसावो येणेवरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला सुखिया